Hi guys, so today I am launching my first YouTube video for this channel and I'm super excited. We will go through a day in the life of an ESL online teacher. I hope you like it. Okay, so I'm all done with my feedback. It took me about maybe 40 minutes, and part of that was because I was dinking around with the camera and everything. It usually takes me under less than an hour for 12 back-to-back classes, and I usually try to do them in between. So like today I had a trial that no showed, but I was able to do 3 feedbacks within that 15 minutes, and then the other 15 minutes I ate breakfast. So I will see you soon. I'm gonna go and go kayaking. Yay! Best feeling ever. Okay, so today has been quite a busy day, and I want to talk about something that most of us have to do at some point in time that might make you feel a little uncomfortable, or maybe you don't necessarily know what to do. I would like to talk about feedback. So let's get closer. Ooh. All right. So I like feedback. There are 3 types of feedback. We'll go really quickly. One is the written feedback. That's definitely the feedback that you have to do because your company says it, because you want to get paid or you want to get your full pay. Or maybe you work at a company that doesn't need feedback. That would be great too. All right, so let's talk about number 1, feedback, written feedback. There is a ton of information out there as to when you should do the feedback, why you should do the feedback, what should be in the feedback, how long the feedback is. Let me give you an idea of what I do. So there's 2 things that I do that are most important to me. Is I keep it short, probably under 2,500 characters, and I also tell them the why. So I don't go back and tell them that, oh, we studied this verb and we were able to do this and we were able to conjugate, we were able to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. What I actually do is I know that either the parent is going to watch the video or the parent is sitting right there or the parent can hear what is going on. So it's really important for me. I feel like it's been very successful for me to be short, concise, and really talk about, the why. And let me give you a couple of examples. 3 examples. The tail sound. Chinese students have I want ta, or they have the at the end or the ta at the end. Wait ta, minute ta, ask ka, those kinds of things. That is really important for the parents to realize what we're doing when we're trying to have them repeat and reduce that tail sound. Having a tail sound makes you sound like a non-native speaker. End of story. And the reason why the person, whoever is paying for whatever online ESL company, is they want their child to be as close to native speaker as possible. Clearly, that might not necessarily be a possibility, but at VIP, some of these kids are 3 and 4 years old, and it is a very, very good possibility that if we cut off that tail sound early, we could actually make them pretty successful. So I say why. We want to make sure that we get him to hear the tail sound. I'm trying to get him to recognize it so that he can self-correct. Once he self-corrects, then we don't have to worry about it anymore. It will become a habit. But until then, we are going to push on this tail sound or removing or reducing of the tail sound so that he can be as strong of a speaker as possible. That's number one. Number two, let's give another example. How about reading full sentences or speaking in full sentences? Everybody knows that we want them to speak in full sentences. It's smarter, the talk time is increased, everything's better to speak in full sentences. But why? The parents want to know why. So we can say, we know that Bao Bao understands how to speak in full sentences. When he learns to speak in full sentences, he learns how to join words together, the placement of those words, and how to how to get the verb to agree to the subjects. Oh, okay, now I understand. Why are, maybe before they were like, why are they keep repeating the same sentence over and over and over again? Well, this is the reason. It also increases talk time, and so it's a quick thing. Hey, I know that Johnny knows how to speak in full sentences. We need to remind him to continue to speak in full sentences. Speaking in full sentences gives him more talk time and can allow him to become a more native speaker. As he learns how to speak in full sentences, he will also learn how to write in full sentences. We want to make sure that Bao Bao reaches his potential as an excellent English speaker. Blah, right? I'm not talking about whether or not he can conjugate verbs and whether or not he has talked about this target sentence. I will say, if they are having an issue, we need to practice and review the target sentences of the unit, and that's it. They know. They'll know what it is. And then I know that with practice and diligence, Bao Bao will master these skills. These skills will help him in his entrance exams at the high school. Number two would be in-class feedback that you give to the child. Instead of just good job, what are some options that you can do? And number three is parent feedback, and that might sound like it's the same as the written feedback, but this is for feedback if the parent is in the class with the student. So I'm not exactly sure why people don't like feedback. I'm a pretty direct person, so I don't have a problem with direct feedback, but I can definitely round my edges to make sure that maybe if they weren't so successful in certain areas that I can kind of encourage them to practice. Okay, so number two is in-class student feedback. So it's really important, instead of saying, good job, you're doing a great job, good job, awesome, good job. They want to know, and so do the parents, what they're doing a good job on. They smell bullshit really, really quickly. Kids always can tell when you're kind of dialing it in or phoning it in or whatever that saying is. So what I do, and it has been successful, a lot of parents have commented on feedback to me that they enjoy that I give feedback in class. So I will normally, and now that I've been in practice at VIP, I know kind of like I can feel the end of like where the phonics is going to end, and then the reading is going to end, because right after the reading comprehension we go on to math maybe, and now we know that the end of math is there. So at each section, if I can give them a positive feedback in class that's specific, maybe they don't understand it. Maybe they're young and we go through and they're not even expected to read full sentences and they say a full sentence all by themselves. I will say, Bao Bao, that was great. Full sentences are awesome. Right? If it is a higher level student that has been struggling with reading or reads well, I will say, for the struggling student that did well, I will say, Bao Bao, that was great. I only had to say one word, one of those words. You did so well on all of the rest. Your voice was so clear. If they are already a good speaker and a good reader, I will say, Bao Bao, I know you're always such a good reader, but these were really difficult words today, and you did awesome. I can tell that you're working hard, right? This not only helps them, you can see a smile in their face or their eyes. Sometimes it embarrasses them, but then they feel proud afterwards. But it also tells them, like, I'm actually listening to what you're doing. I'm kind of comparing you to other people. Like, wow, you did really well. Maybe I'm just comparing them to themselves of what they've done in the last lessons. But maybe they think, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a good student, right? And that leads me to number 3. Number 3, parent feedback. So obviously, you hope, if you have to write feedback, that they are reading it. You hope, but who knows? Maybe dad reads it, but mom is in class, or vice versa. Dad's in class, but mom is reading it. Maybe no one's reading it. Maybe they're both saying that they're reading it, and really they're not. Maybe the translation is so craptastic that they don't know what's going on, kind of like how ours will get translated, where it'll say, like, Sushi Mama wants to date the bachelor, and you're like, what? What is going on here? So it's possible that that might be happening. So if that isn't, and we don't know if it is, if they are reading, if they're not reading, but what we do know is that if that parent is there, if you can hear the parent in the room, or sometimes you can hear them in another room saying the words and you can hear them echoing, if you can see that parent, if you don't see the parent but the child keeps looking over, like, I don't really know the answer, oh my God, oh yeah. Boat, quiet, right? If you see that, then you absolutely should acknowledge the parent. The parent is paying a lot of money. The parent's goal is to have us teach their child to have as native of a language skill as possible. And at the end, what I say is wow, awesome, Bao Bao. Mom, he did so good. Wow, full sentences and everything. You are doing a good job, Mom. Bye-bye. Something like that. If I know that it's an older student, I might not want to, embarrass them. I might say something like, oh, what have I said in the past? So I have a student, her name is Lily. She's so meek and calm and quiet, and yet she giggles throughout the whole class. And her mom has made a comment in the feedback that she never laughs. Like, she never laughs except in my class. And that she's such a serious student, and that even though I'm a serious teacher, I can still get her to laugh. And so I will tell Lily, I will say, something about, we were talking about exercise and healthy diet. And I said, who is the better cook in your house, Mom or Dad? And she said, Dad. I said, oh, Mama, did you hear that? Mama, she doesn't think you're a good cook. And she goes, oh. She started laughing, right? Well, I know that if that mom is watching that video and watching her child giggle, that she's going to watch the next video, right? And that she's going to get a kick out of that. And she's going to enjoy the fact that I am connecting not only with her, but I know that I'm being watched, right? I'm being watched every day by the company in real time. I'm being watched later on by the student. And then sometimes I'm being watched by people I don't even know because maybe one of my parents has posted some teaching classes on WeChat, right? So I'm being watched all the time. Don't get freaked out about that. Make sure that you use it for your advantage. There are very few people out there that feel like they can give a compliment in a strong way. If you can do this in business, and this really is a business, right? There's 3 people you want to make happy. There's your company, there's your parent, and there's your child, right? There should be a 4th one. It should be you. But hopefully you're making yourself happy in some other ways. So these 3 people, they want to know that you actually care about the student, the child, the client, whatever you want to call these people. You want to make sure that you give them the most direct feedback possible. Sometimes if it goes bad, I will say, Mom, all right, good job. He worked hard today. Let's practice writing his words out. Spelling, we need some review. And then go, it's okay. Everyone needs something like that. And then the parents know, and then you write in the feedback if you have the opportunity. I know he'll master this. He is at level. He's doing great. He's progressing fine. He's just not as strong of a speller as in all of the other stuff. He's so strong in other sections that he's just not strong in this section. And that's okay. We can practice with that. I can practice. I can help him. I have identified an issue that he has. That's number 1. Parents will stick with you. Number 2, I am offering to help you. Number 2, they are giving me their student, which means they will not be the kind of parent that is like on every word, correcting. They know you have it. They trust you. And number 3, they will continue to come back. Because if they see changes, and it could be as simple as not having a tail sound on every single word, it's every other word. If they notice a difference and they see that we can increase their native speaking ability, you've got them. You've got them. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye. You can also make sure that you check out the website. And if you want to join our email list, I have an income blog. On every month, I will send you what I made and how I made it and what my thoughts were, and maybe sometimes the changes and the trends in the ESL world. So make sure that you also click to that link.